Well, you guys seen my top 30 favorite anime, and you know that it landed on the number one spot was Dragon Ball fucking Z. So, what better way to talk about Dragon Ball Z on my channel than to, well, rank the seasons? Or the sagas is a better way. Now, technically, there are very few seasons of Z. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to lope them together. Say, the Frieza saga, I know that the American version kind of separated, like Namek and Frieza saga separate. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to count the Namek and Frieza saga together and rank them that way. Kind of like that. They're all one saga. If they start with a main villain and they end with the main villain or whatever, that's the saga I'm going to rank it for. Anyway, let's get things started and let's start ranking this shit. Let's go.
Witness the birth of a new world of darkness and evil. Junior's back.
First, we start with the worst of the worst, the fucking Garlic Jr. saga. Now, I know I shouldn't be so hard on this because this saga is technically just filler. It's not in the manga. I shouldn't give two shits about it, right? Well, here's the thing. Us that was watching DBZ on the weekdays or on the weekends and on Toonami airing it, this was pretentious. It's long, it's pretentious, and it just does nothing. There are a few good things out of it. There are moments like, well, with Vegeta in space looking and searching for Goku. Those are kind of cool. But other than that, I really just don't give a fuck. Garlic Jr. was awesome in the movie The Dead Zone. I really didn't need to see a return to form for him and him going on some kind of crazy-ass revenge scheme on Goku when it was Gohan that put him there in the first fucking place. I don't give two shits about Kami or Mr. Popo. This whole arc was just boring. That's it. And there's just things about this that I really fucking hate. Like Marin. Oh my god, Marin is an annoying fucking character. I don't even have any clips of her playing because I didn't want to watch any of her scenes while she's on my video here. She is annoying. She is painful to watch. It's just not a fun arc. And she drags it down a lot. Yajirobe's characters, everybody on here is just fucking boring. It's a bore fest. In fact, I like how Team 4-Star was able to fix the Garlic Jr. saga by not having it happen, by killing him with Mr. Popo. That was a great way. Anyhow, I don't know. The story's just lame. Garlic Jr. escapes from the Dead Zone and starts to search for Goku, and then he starts to attack Kami's tower and begins to poison everybody with the holy water. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Marin is annoying. I really wish that she got killed. That's terrible for me to say, but I'm sorry. When a character is that pretentious and annoying, it's just painful. It's very painful to watch. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because out of all the arcs of DBZ, this is the one that I've watched the least. Anyhow, it can't get any worse from here. Let's go on to the next one.
I think things are about to heat up big time.
Get ready! I'm right behind you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on!
Alright, the Frieza saga. And I already know what you're thinking. Why is the Frieza saga this low, right next to the Garlic Jr. saga? You remember when I called the Garlic Jr. saga pretentious and long? Frieza saga is longer. We first start with a trip to fake Namek. Then we go to another trip, and then we go to see things from Vegeta's point of view. Then Gohan and Krillin become side characters. Vegeta becomes the main character for a while, which is a good thing, because I love to see him demolish and murder all of Frieza's army. But still, it's long, and I mean long. The beginning of it is really good. I love seeing Gohan and Krillin trying to survive, while Vegeta is slowly destroying all of Frieza's army. Then right when we get to the midpoint, we get to the Ginyus, and good lord, talk about long, but fun. The Ginyu saga is a lot of fun. The Ginyu portion, anyway, of the Namek saga or Frieza saga is a lot of fun. We get to see these pumped up superheroes just have a great time and take it down and just beat on the heroes one by one until Goku, who is borrowing formula from the Red Ribbon Saga, or I guess King Piccolo Saga is when that started, shows up out of nowhere and takes Raccoon down with one punch, and that's it. And then we start the Ginyu Demolish scenes. Then Goku's hurt again, and they recycle it again by putting him in the chamber after the entire Ginyu Switch thing is going on. Nobody really is invested at this point, but hey, I want to see what happens next. I want to see what's going on afterwards. Finally, we get introduced to Frieza. Now, throughout this saga, Frieza was a lot of build-up, and I mean a lot of build-up. It made him so cool just to see this little bitty tyrant thing in his chair, and when he finally steps into action against the heroes of the story and murders nearly half the people there, it's a lot of fun, but it gets drawn out again. Right after Vegeta gets killed off by Frieza. Oh boy, we're in for another long ride that feels like it's going nowhere, with Goku fighting Frieza at first, and then filler after filler after filler. Then he finally tries the Spirit Bomb, which is like more filler. It takes like 5 episodes to charge the damn thing. Then on top of it all, we get more and more filler. Frieza kills Krillin, Goku becomes a Super Saiyan, which is one of the best moments in the entire franchise, but it's drawn out by even longer filler. And even after Frieza's defeated, we're sitting on Earth waiting for Goku to get back, and for Goku to be a dickhead and say, he doesn't want to return. I didn't know the dragon worked that way. It's just long. There's a lot of low points. That's why it's just at the bottom of my list. You won't see a lot of DBZ top 15 battles. If you remember that video, you didn't see a lot of the Frieza Saga fights on there. It's because they just didn't mesh for me. I mean, I love Vegeta's fight against Zarbon, and I love his murder of Dodoria, and I enjoy his fight up against Raccoon and stuff. But Vegeta was the MVP of the saga, and then Goku just kind of sweeps it out and takes it from under his feet, which now you can kind of see why Vegeta fucking hates Goku. He's a show stealer. And then we finally get to the Frieza fight, which is just so damn drawn out. Kind of like what I'm doing with my rambling right now. I'm done here. Let's go to the next one.
As Majin Buu and Babidi ravage the earth, all hope seems lost.
We're going to make him suffer, Boo.
The fighters who face Buu fail.
Okay, well, this must be very hypocritical of me to put the Buu saga above the Frieza saga, and I know, like, 80% of the DBZ fan base is going to be like, dude, what the fuck are you thinking? Well, hear me out on this one. The Fusion, or the Buu saga, sorry, is a mishandled, jumbled mess. If anyone that watches my videos actually watches Totally Not Mark, he explains it perfectly why the Buu saga is such a mess. But, and this is my but, well, it's fun. And I mean, it starts out fun, the middle is fun, but by the end you just want Buu to fucking die already and stop regenerating. There's a lot of transformation scenes going on. But then we get a lot of awesome stuff. We get the Great Saiyaman, which is kind of fun. I enjoy the filler to that. I also enjoy, well, things about the arc that continue to go on. They start a nice full frontal red herring world tournament. We're introduced to the Supreme Kai and Kibito, which that in itself is a lot of fun. And you think that's going to be the main setting of the story, which is just great. But then you find out there's an evil force called Buu, and Buu is like a reverse Goku if you think about it. But before we get to that description of Buu as a villain, I gotta talk more about the story. We get to a certain aspect of the story where they are fighting in Babidi's ship, and it's like a Game of Death style fight. Vegeta pounds and beats down the first adversary, and then so on and so forth, until Vegeta becomes Majin Vegeta, which is just a freaking great scene, even though the fight between Majin Vegeta and Goku just goes nowhere. Then we get other aspects like Majin Buu himself, who is pretty much, like I said, Reverse Goku. A character that loves to battle, fight, and has a voracious appetite that just loves to eat whatever comes in his way. It's just fucking great. And his parallel with the other characters is great too. We get fusion in this saga, and fusion is fun too. Goten and Trunks, I really don't give a shit about, especially Kid Trunks. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Trunks and future Trunks installment. But when it comes to, well, Kid Trunks, I despise him. Anyhow, Goten and Trunks I can't stand, but I absolutely adore Gotenks, even though he's annoying and can be really cocky. It can be just a lot of fun too. It's just a really nice little treat to watch. I enjoy it. Then Vegito. Fucking Vegito is formed. Oh man, I fucking love it. Oh! And I'm sorry, I'm nerding out here. Then we get, well, Boo's several freaking transformations, and we know how those turn out. First Boo was a lot of fun, being a character that had really no conscience or no understanding, and the moments that he bonds with Mr. Satan is a lot of fun. But then we get the moments where he transforms into Super Boo and becomes a carbon copy Cell, who is also a carbon copy Frieza. I'm just saying, a lot of it doesn't mesh well. It doesn't become fun again until after the fusion stuff. Well, the fusion stuff was fun, sorry. Until after Boo is back to Kid Boo, and he becomes a fun villain again. Just by that point, though, it's too late. We're tired. You've hit us with a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff here. We're exhausted at this point, but it's still a pretty fun and unique saga. I get a good kick out of it from when I watch it, and I just watched it recently, so I do have more of a understanding for it. I think the Boo saga is massively underrated, but let's move on to the next one.
I am the Prince of all Saiyans once again.
Oh yeah, the Cell saga. Now this one is a little different here, and I've got to say, I just love that whole biogenetic aspect to DBZ. I mean, my favorite DBZ movie, I think everyone knows, is The World's Strongest. I have a strong obsession with that movie. I just love the scientific aspect here. It starts out with bringing the villain from the last arc back, having him murdered by Trunks in just a few seconds. Well, it actually takes an entire episode, but you get what I mean. And DBZ time, it's a few seconds. Because we know how long 5 minutes is. Anyhow, yeah. The fucking Cell Saga is great. Trunks shows up, tells everybody he's from the future, and there's going to be androids that are even stronger than Frieza, and you know he just murdered Frieza, so you know this motherfucker is not lying. It's just a fun story all around. Though I do notice that there is a slight change in animation, and there is a big fall in quality a little bit story-wise, but this is before DBZ started to really drag on. The Cell Saga's filler is actually a lot of fun. I like the filler, especially like Gohan's 11th birthday. I like just about everything on here. It's a pretty fun run of a saga. I don't get bored with it. This is one of the few sagas that I don't skip anything. The androids first show up, and they are legitimate threats. And watching the characters get their asses kicked, well, first they kick the Android 19 and 20's asses, then they get their asses kicked by 17 and 18, only to be engulfed by a bigger threat. Cell is just fantastic. There's a lot going on here, and it just works. There is the bonding that Vegeta has with Trunks that I really like a lot, and especially when Vegeta turns and goes after to attack Cell after Trunks is supposedly killed off. And then there is Gohan's bonding with Goku, which is fantastic, and Gohan being the unsung hero of the entire arc. As a kid, I didn't expect any of that to happen. I was blown away by it, and I absolutely loved it. It was just great. And Cell is a lot of fun too. Over the top and hammy as ever, with a good English voice actor. I mean, you can't go wrong with Damian Clark, everyone. So, I've got to say, this is probably one of the best DBZ sagas out there. structurally, it can take a long time, and we do get moments like, well, Cell tennis, because Cell gets beat up 1 second, then he beats somebody else up, then he gets beat up again. It goes back and forth constantly through the run here, and it just gets to be a little painful at times. Cell has to absorb the androids, then he has to fight the characters that after he gets absorbed. There is a lot of exposition going on, and honestly, yeah, but there is still some kick-ass moments here. Piccolo gets in a few good fights. Vegeta gets in a few good fights. I mean, yeah, they're with Cell and the androids, but it's still a lot of fun. It didn't make Goku the shining hero. And what makes this nice is Goku isn't missing. He shows up, like, and as not at the unsung hero like Goku did in the Frieza arc and in the Namek section of the Frieza arc, or in the King Piccolo saga, or the Saiyan saga. He's actually there, except for the heart virus thing, but that was something of him not being gone. That was just, you get what I'm saying. Anyhow, yeah, this one is more drawn out, but it doesn't feel drawn out. Though there is some really bad dips in animation quality, I, however, love this one to pieces, and it has always been my second favorite. And now for my obvious favorite of the entire DBZ sagas.
Let me show you how it's done!
Oh yeah, when I think of big DBZ sagas, I think of the fucking Saiyan saga. It is the best of the freaking best. I can't help it, this is just how the list folded out. It's got that animation quality that I really love, the more circular style. And the story is great. We get a bombshell dropped on us that Goku is actually an alien. People who are watching the show that are first time Dragon Ball, that were watching Dragon Ball previously, you all start thinking it makes sense. As if you're a first time watcher like I was at that age, it's like, okay, that's cool. But still, you get so much here. You get awesome fights. You get Piccolo and Goku joining forces. You get to see Gohan build himself up to become a badass. First he takes down Raditz. You get to see glimpses of Gohan's anger. It's just awesome. Oh man, and the animation is just beautiful here. I especially love the fight between Goku and Vegeta animation-wise too, because you can see that beautiful blue sky. Everything just flows perfectly here. This is like DBZ, the coup de grace of the entire Dragon Ball Z franchise. To me, it's its magnum opus when it comes to ranking these sagas. The Saiyan saga had to have been number one. It introduced us to so much elements. The rivalry between Goku and Vegeta, and how Vegeta stayed within the series. The build-up of Gohan's personality and character. And then the death of everybody else. It was a big, dark moment. It was even bigger than the King Piccolo arc. And what did it do? It changed everything for how we looked at Dragon Ball. I am tempted to say that the entire best and king throne of the Dragon Ball Z arcs has to go to the Saiyan saga. It is worthy of this spot, and I will stand by that and defend it for as long as I can. Yeah, I'm not going on very long about this one too much, but I've got to say, out of all the DBZ sagas and all the Dragon Ball sagas, this one reigns supreme. And it's worthy of this spot as the king of all sagas. I'm sorry, that was a little nerdy. Anyhow, that does it for this ranking. Let's continue on to where I say goodbye. Well, that's it for this ranking, everybody. I do plan to eventually rank the Dragon Ball Z movies, the original movies, and I will go in from there. If you guys want me to do that, tell me in the comments. Always remember, I'm listening.
It is I, Chuck Huber, and I see you haven't subscribed to Mr. Tim. Shame on you all. You're missing out on so much anime reviews, number lists, and finally, interviews. What kind, you say? Voice actor interviews like mine. So, subscribe.
Or I'll get the Dragon Balls and make you disappear.